Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. Got a great story out of Zero Hedge about silver and Russia deciding to buy silver. And I want to go over because it's very important because it's very rare that we see news stories about governments or central banks buying metals outside of gold, okay? Silver is that one metal that I believe is going to cause fracturing through Forex markets, through metals markets someday because, in my opinion, it is extremely rare because of its insanely vast amount of uses. Okay, it says right here, will Russian buying drive silver beyond $50? Now obviously none of this is a news story I'm reading, none of it's financial advice. I invest in silver. It is my favorite precious metals, and in my opinion the greatest investment of the century. I know it sounds crazy when you see things like Bitcoin and things like that, but in a day and age where you could see rhodium go from $200 in the year 2000 to well over 20,000. I think it peaked like 30 something thousand dollars an ounce. I think it's an amazing, amazing opportunity. Okay. If you want a link to a company, an online company that you can buy silver and have it delivered to your house, I'll put a link down below with a company that I've used before that I trust. It says a report from the Russian news agency Interfax last week reveals Russia's plans to substantially increase its precious metal reserves in the coming years. The report states that Russia's state fund plans to acquire gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and gemstones. Russia's decision to add silver to its reserves distinguishes it from most other central banks, which have largely focused on accumulating gold while overlooking silver. Along with several other bullish factors, Russia's silver purchases could be a key driver in pushing prices to $50 and beyond. Now, you've recently witnessed what happened with China when China started they were caught in a buying spree of gold while they were actually going, no, we're not buying gold. And people were investigating and finding that China was, in fact, through some proxies in other parts of the world, buying gold. And that buying pressure, where there was less on the market available for sale at certain points, kept the pressure upward in the price of gold. Now, like this story says, not a lot of countries have ever really talked about buying silver. And Russia is obviously in the news all the time. Countries are watching them like a hawk. They're watching China because both of them together are running the BRICS nations, that massive movement towards a new currency. And when you see all of a sudden a massive, superpower buying up silver, wouldn't you think that other governments would start whispering and going, maybe we should buy some silver? And once they click on a YouTube where they start watching social media, internet posts about silver in the market, some politicians' eyes are going to bug out of their head and they say, it's cheap, let's buy it. All right. So I think over the next 6 months, you are going to see, we're going to be doing stories of other countries buying up silver. Now, it said Bloomberg's translation of the original Interfax report reveals that Russia's state fund plans to allocate 51.5 billion rubles to precious metals and gemstones in 2025, with the same amount set for 2026 and 2027. It says in recent years, central banks worldwide have rapidly diversified their reserves, with gold being the primary beneficiary. In 2023, central banks added a little over 1,000 tons of gold, just shy of the record-breaking 1,082 tons purchased in 2022. Central banks added a net 483 tons of gold in the first half of 2024, which is a 5% increase over the previous record of 460 tons. So you're seeing these records being set, just like the price of gold, and then broken and set again, broken and set again. So you're seeing a trend of countries and central banks moving out of dollars. They're taking dollars and they're buying gold. So you can see why gold keeps hitting those highs. It says, now, while the Interfax report did not specifically say how much silver Russia's state fund plans to acquire, this move is noteworthy as Russia becomes one of the first countries to diversify its reserves into silver. With gold prices continuing to surge, other nations may also consider adding silver to their reserves. Boy, it's like the ninja already read this. I swear I don't. A trend that alongside numerous bullish factors could drive silver to $50 an ounce and potentially much higher. So here's the thing. You saw this insane rise in Bitcoin over the last, let's say, year and a half, 2 years, especially in the last 8 months, 9 months, since the invention or the creation of a Bitcoin ETF. Now, we know there are silver ETFs, and they are absolutely devastating to the market at times because they're used as a tool to manipulate the price. And that's what I believe is eventually going to happen to the price of Bitcoin, right? They're going to use these ETFs to smash it down, buy more up for themselves. However, in the Comex, where these silver contracts and the bars lie, there's very few actual silver ounces per contract. There's actually a ton more contracts per silver ounce. They've been manipulating and lying about it, right? Using like a fractional reserve system. The only thing, though, is the Comex has been changing its rules year after year, and to where they change it to where, oh, you have to have 5,000 ounces of contracts to take delivery. Now you need this many, then you need that. And they keep raising it. And it keeps taking most of the investors out of the loop, right? To where they'll just sell the paper price and go buy physical. If Russia has any contracts from Comex, or they slowly start picking up contracts, we're talking about a country, which means they're going to have enough money in the game to where they could call for delivery. At a certain point, they could be slowly calling for delivery from either the Comex or from Europe, their metals exchange, and slowly pulling stuff off the market. And then what they can do, and it wouldn't take a lot of money. When you're thinking about a superpower, a massive economy like Russia, they could buy up enough contracts to call for delivery and cause the Comex to go bust. Now, the Comex would ultimately cash out in US dollars. They say, we're not going to deliver the silver, or we don't have it. We're going to give you dollars. But at that point, Russia would have, and they wouldn't lose anything. Or quite frankly, if the left was in, they would probably call for a seizing of their funds to try and hide it. But it would be too late because Russia would have all of the proof it needs to show the world's central banks and governments that the government of the United States is not paying its debts anymore, which means we would have a default. And instantaneously, any country that is siding with the BRICS would be pressured or would automatically walk away from the U.S. in trade. And we would have a collapse in our markets. This is what I think may be coming in the future or may be planned. Let me know down below if you think the same thing. And then hashtag silver if you like silver, hashtag gold if you like gold more. Hope you have a great day. The Economic Ninja. Oh, and do me a favor. Free newsletter, never sell your email. All it does is make sure you get all the videos and all of the links to the other platforms where I can't share things here. Links down below. It's free newsletter. Economic Ninja is out.